Hi, I'm Rebecca Harris, and thank you for joining us today on this edition of Faces and Places. Today, we're on the corner of 12th Street and Broad Street down at the City Municipal Building. It's this beautiful building right here behind me. We're going inside to visit with Roger Connor, and he's going to introduce us to the city workers who can explain to us more about your utility bills, how you can get your utilities started, how we can take care of our water, and so much more. So thank you for joining us, and come on inside with me. Well, hello, here we are at the Public Utility Director's office, Roger Connor. Roger, I know you're a very busy man, but do you think maybe you could have a little time to talk to us this morning about what you do for the city of Phenix City?
I'd be happy to.
All right. Tell me a little bit about yourself first.
Well, I was born and raised in Phenix City. My parents were born and raised here as well, so I have a long-standing association with the city. I've been here all my life, moved away for about 9 years to the Carolinas and came back, was glad to do so. Like I say, it's nothing like home, they mean it.
That's
and
right.
My family's here, and so glad to be here, and I enjoy being with the city. I've been with the city about 5 years now. I was with Russell County Water and Sewer 5 years prior to that, so just a long time here and enjoy what we do.
Is your family here in Phenix City as well?
My family lives in, I got one daughter in Columbus. My mother's in a assisted living facility. I have to take care of her, but then I've got one daughter moving back from Waycross, Georgia this weekend. She's been away at school and be glad to get her back home.
Well, I see you have a lot of Auburn things here in your office.
Oh yes, my father had me in orange and blue when I was still in diapers, so just kind of been an Auburn fan all my life.
All right. Well, you know, I know that you're very busy with all the projects that y'all have going on here in the city. Last year we got a lot of things accomplished, and you're in the middle of some very big projects right now. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we got our biggest project is our wastewater plant. We're going to spend close to $5 million by the end of this year, and we'll have that project completed before the end of the year. That's going to increase our capacity as well as our treatment capabilities down there. You know, we have to be very prudent of the water we put back in the river, and we have certainly EPA guidelines and mandates we must meet, but we want to be smart and take care of the resources for the folks downstream too, so they can use that water. Another project we have is 29th Street. We're going to spend $2 million on a new lift station rehab. It's going to more than double that capacity, and that's not only to help current needs but also future growth needs. Other areas are just, we're doing a lot of project work around town, replacing water and sewer mains for paving projects. We like to go in and replace those water and sewer mains ahead of time, so when they come in and do the resurfacing work, we're not back in there having to tear it up within a year or two to replace a line that's already should have been replaced before.
Right, so you work with other departments too?
Yes, we do. We work with, of course, engineering. We help with Parks and Rec a lot of times. When they have a need, we'll go up. We spend time at the football stadiums and ball fields, different areas around town with irrigation needs, and trying to help them with those issues and help correct. And they help us too. We other people, Public Works, will jump in, and that's the only way for the city to work, is we've got to be able to rely on one another and get that aid when it's needed.
That's right. Well, with you being a department head, how many people actually work in your department, and what are some of the things that they do?
Well, we have 75 employees. That's scattered among the two water plants, the water plant, the wastewater plant, and then our field crew. Then the rest is our staff here that handles all the billing, signing up people for water services, reconnecting services, transferring services. We have a dispatch office here that handles all the call-ins for where we have to dispatch our field crews to where they need to be. Of course, our water and wastewater plant's 24/7 operation. It never sleeps. There's always somebody there on staff to operate and make sure things are handled properly, and we have people on call 24/7 to go out and address leaks, both water, sewer leaks, and issues like that. Like I said, our billing, we have over 14,000 customers, and our billing department handles all of that. They take care of the running the bills, stuffing the bills, mailing the bills, and we have a on-staff engineer that helps with project work and designs some of those projects. And you know, we've got a lot going on, and but it makes it interesting. No 2 days are ever the same.
I'm sure. Well, can you tell me a little bit about how citizens can help to take care of the water?
Well, first of all, not wasting water. When you have leaks, it not only costs you money, but it also wastes water that shouldn't be wasted. Or over irrigation, running a lot of fertilizers down the storm drains, you know, pouring fats, oils, and greases into your sinks and toilets to get rid of it. There's a far better way to do so, because what that does is that fat and oil is going to eventually clog up the sewer mains. It's just like our arteries. If we eat a lot of fat in our diet, the arteries are going to clog up and things aren't going to flow. And that's the same way with the sewer system. Is they pour grease and oil down in those drains, eventually those sewer lines are going to stop up, and if it stops up on their service line, it's going to back up in their house, and that's not a good thing to have happen.
Well, you were saying that y'all are open 24 hours a day, so if someone were to have an emergency during the night and have a big leak or whatever, how would they contact you to let you know that?
They contact our water treatment plant, and the numbers are in the phone book as well as publicized on our website. They will dispatch on-call person, be it water or wastewater, to address the issue.
Okay, well, let's just say that a person has just moved here to Phenix City. What would be their first step to get their utilities straightened out?
They would need to come in. We have two ladies up front that I'll show you in a few minutes that handle those very situations where somebody comes in and they tell them what all they need to do to get their water, sewer, and garbage services started.
And all this information is online?
It's online.
Can you tell us what website they need to go to?
It's PhenixCityUS.com, and they can go and learn about every department in the city. We have videos out there that show project work and different things going on throughout the city, economic development, public works, parks and rec. It's very informative. It's just been totally revamped, and a lot of work's been done there through our IT department. We're very proud of it.
Well, good. Well, I know you're really busy right now, but if you wouldn't mind, can you take us out in the lobby and introduce us?
Sure, I'd love to. I'd love to. Rebecca asked a question earlier about where people come in to get new service started, and this is one of the first stops they will make. This is Angel Howard. She's been with the city for a long time now. And the customer would come in, bring their documentation showing their address, lease documents, home ownership, whatever the case may be, and get signed up for water, sewer, and garbage services. Then once they get set up and they want to pay their bill, we have multiple ways for citizens to pay their bill. They can pay online, they can set up automatic bank drafts, they can do pay by phone, they can come into our office here, and all the ladies over in this section, which I'll show you in a second, will take those payments. As I mentioned earlier, when you want to come into the lobby and pay your bill, the ladies up front here will be happy to take those payments for you. We do this from 8 o'clock to 5 in the afternoons, and all you have to do is come in, present your bill, they'll take your payment. You can pay by charge card, debit card, cash, check, and they'll get that and put it into our system so it credits your account for that payment. Winsome Fisher is one of our CSRs, and she's currently taking a card payment by phone for one of our customers. Melissa McBride is one of our other CSRs, and she's currently inputting payments that have been received into our Munis system. And then the two ladies down here. Okay, Sheila's a revenue officer with the city. She actually works for the finance department, and she takes in payments for business licenses, renewals, as well as setting up new business licenses, taxes, property taxes. Mandy's been with the city approximately 2 months. She's also a revenue clerk, and she takes in business license payments, property taxes, etc., much like Sheila does. So, and she works also for the finance department. Stephanie Benison. Stephanie is our admin assistant, and she basically oversees all this wonderment that we have going on here and tries to keep us headed in the right direction. These ladies out here answers a lot of questions every day for customers as well as the CSRs. And over here we have Miss Alfreda. Alfreda is the other CSR that sits on the far end of the room that helps with those new customers coming in and signing up for service, transfer accounts, people that want to close accounts where they're moving, etc. This is Angie Lumpkin. Angie's our office manager here. between the two of us, we try to keep each other straight and headed down the right path.
That's not easy.
But she does all the payroll for all of our divisions within the utility department. This is Denise O'Neill. She's one of our billing clerks. We have 3 people in the billing department. Shirley came to us from the medical center, and where she'd spent 27 years in the medical center. This is Shirley Taylor. She's another billing clerk we have. She's been with the city now, what, 3 years?
3 years.
3 years, and she came to us from the medical center with 20-some odd years experience over there.
That's right, 27.
Kelly Watson, she's another member of our billing clerk team, and Kelly's been here, what, 5 years now? Almost 5 years, and she takes in web payments, takes in night drop payments, deals with customers on the phone with various issues, so they all stay rather busy during the course of the day. This is John Spraggins. He's our engineer. He does dual duty, actually. He does engineering service and work for the utilities department, but also for our engineering department. Designs some of our projects and make sure that the contractors are doing what they're supposed to do and meeting the specifications. This is Kathleen Lyles. Kat, to all of us here that work in utilities. And Kat, you've been with the city 30 years?
I've been with the city now 28.
28. I knew it's close to 30. And she runs our dispatch office, where she has to take all the calls from customers, and she dispatches service orders that the ladies up front generate and make sure everybody stays on track and gets to where they're supposed to go. She takes all the radio calls from the crews out in the field as well and responds. So she knows where everybody is all the time. Irvin Miller here is one of our meter techs. We have 3 meter techs. So they have to go out and scan all the meters for billing purposes. They go out and do disconnects and reconnects. And if we're having a problem with the meter, they'll pull meter graphs so we can tell exactly how much water is going through a given meter at any part of the day. One of the other methods of payment I didn't mention earlier is we do have a drive-through. People can come in and drop off their payments that way. And we also have a night drop, so they can come in anytime, night or day, and drop it in our night drop as well.
So now we're at the wastewater treatment plant with Charles Woody. I want to thank you for taking time to talk to us this morning. You didn't know we were coming, so thank you for welcoming us. There's a lot going on in the city, so I wanted Charles to tell us a little bit about it and tell us about the wastewater treatment program.
Yes, ma'am. Right now, the city of Phenix City, we're going under an upgrade here at the wastewater plant. It's about a $3 million project right now, but all in all, we're going to spending anywhere between $3 to $5 million when the total project's totally done.
Wow.
And I'm sure Mr. Connor filled you in on that,
yes,
on what
did.
we're doing. We're located right here in Phenix City off State Docks Road. It's 1600 East State Docks Road, and State Docks is located off Brickyard Road.
Okay. What are some of the things that you do here?
Well, what we do is operators and myself, it's our job to clean this water to the best that we can, because downstream users end up using this water later on. Then after we clean that water, we discharge it back into the river. And the water that we're putting back into the river is cleaner than the water we pull out of the river.
So what you do is very important work, and we appreciate you doing that.
It's very important for the environment.
How many people do you have on your staff that helps with this?
There's a total of 11 employees here at the plant, and we're a 24/7 operation.
Okay. Well, would you mind showing us around?
Yes, ma'am. I don't mind. Don't mind at all.
Thank you.
All the used water comes into our plant, and the first treatment process that it comes into and it hits is what we call in our headworks. We start off with our screening process, the bar screen. As you can see, that's the screen. The water's filtering through right down here at the bottom, coming through the screen, passes the screen, trash is being collected, dumped into our auger, and is dumped into the trash chute. All right, after the water passes through the screening system, right here through the bar screen, it comes up to these 3 large pumps you see here. They look like big augers. All these pumps are doing is lifting the elevation of the water down here at this elevation, this lower elevation, up to the higher elevation. The water passes through what we call a splitter box and is diverted to 2 different chambers. And these are our grit chambers. What we're doing is we're adding air here in the grit chambers to separate that inorganic matter. The inorganic matter settles at the bottom of the basins, and then we pump the inorganic matter to our dumpsters, which you'll see here in a little while. The water comes in, and then it goes out over what we call a weir. And this is the weir, this is the effluent of the grit chamber. We average treating about a little over 3 million gallons a day right now. But a lot of water leaves our grit chambers, and then from here it goes on to our next process, what we call the primary clarifiers, which that's what we'll go to next. As I was saying, up at the grit chambers, all the inorganic matter that settles out at the bottom of the basin, we pump through our classifiers, and our classifiers have an auger right here on the inside, and all that sand and grit is collected here, and then it's transferred into the dumpsters. All of our dumpsters are dumped 3 times a week. One of the new treatments that we have in the plant is in this upgrade that was installed. This has been installed, and we've been using it for the past 6 to 7 months. This is a lime silo tank. What we do here is we're adding lime to the system to help raise our pH. I've been with the city going on 23 years now. I started off as a trainee and got certified, became a grade 3 operator, then a grade 4 operator, then I was the lab tech for the plant, and now I'm the plant superintendent for the plant. As I was stating before, as the water leaves the grit chambers, the effluent water then comes to what we call our splitter box to our primary clarifiers. This is another type of treatment that we do in the plant. We have 4 primary clarifiers. What happens here in this process is the water is brought in right there, as you see in that center well. The water comes in there, and then it comes out over what we call a V-notch weir, which is right here. 1 gallon of water as it comes in is 2 to 3 hours detention time to come in from right there and to come out over here on this V-notch weir. But like I said, we have 4 primary clarifiers. Once the water comes over our V-notch weirs, then it goes into the biggest pump station we have here in the plant, which is our recirculation pump station that you see right over here. I'll tell you a little bit more about the primary clarifiers. What we're doing here is we're taking out all the sludge and all the solids that settle to the bottom. That's your sludge. We're taking that out and we're pumping it into our digesters. And then the solids that settle inside the green ring that you see here, that's what we call scum. That scum is scraped along to what we call a scum hopper, and then we pump that to our digesters also. This water right here at the trickle filters is coming from that pump station, pumping this water through these distributor arms, and then it's filtering through what you see here, this media, and it's helping with our CBODs and BODs and the removal. That green looking algae that you see on the rocks, that's in wastewater terminology, that's called zoogliomass. You can see from up here that you can see your primary clarifiers. You can see 2 of our trickle filters over here and 2 over there. Like I was saying, this side we flood. We flood once a week to keep down the trickle filter flies. Right here, this is, we just had this put in, this digester roof. This is a new roof on our number 2 digester. The city approved it for us to have redone. It's a brand new top. And then the effluent from our trickle filters, then it comes to what we call our aeration basin, as you see right here. You can see the bubbles that are in the water there. That's from the blowers. The blowers are causing that air force. And what we're doing here at this aeration basin is we're removing our nutrients. We're lowering our ammonias, nitrite plus nitrate, TKN, total phosphorus. That's the work that we're doing here, is taking out all the nutrients in the water. And then after the water leaves here over the backside of the weir over here at the aeration basin, then it goes to what we call our 2 big final clarifiers, as you see over here. There again, we got about a 2 to 3 hour detention time on our final clarifiers. Once it goes over the weir, the water, it goes to what we call our chlorine contact basin, which is right over here behind this brick building. That's about a 30-minute detention time for 1 gallon of water. What happens there is we're shooting chlorine in the water to kill any bacteria like your E. coli and fecal matter. And then before it goes over the weir of the contact basin, before it heads to the river, we shoot sulfur dioxide to kill any remaining chlorine in the water. And then it's river water from there. This is what we call our boiler room. This is boiler room number 2. What's happening here is we use this boiler to heat our digester. Just like with our stomachs, we have bacteria in our stomachs. Our digester is just like our stomach. It has bacteria in it, and to keep that bacteria happy and where it'll work and break down the solids like it needs to, we need to keep it at the right temperature. And right over here to your left, this is the sludge recirculation pump. It's pumping the sludge from number 2 digester through the boiler and then back into the digester. Right now, boiler number 1's offline. We're doing work on our number 1 digester. It's a good thing that you're here today because you'll be able to see what the inside of a digester looks like. The way the digester works, we have a mixing system. The one line pumps out the sludge from the bottom of the tank, runs through our mixers and goes in through that other line that you see there. And off that one main line, you see 3 nozzles. And those nozzles, we're basically using the sludge to mix the tank. So you're pumping the sludge from the tank and then putting it back in under high pressure, and it mixes the tank. You see all these blue pumps. These were installed by the city employees within the past year. These are our sludge pumps to those primary clarifiers we were looking at earlier when I was talking about the sludge is pumped from the clarifiers to the digesters. This is what we use right here, these progressive cavity pumps. And all these blue valves, all that's new, all that's been installed by city employees. I've got a real good maintenance staff that's really worked their rear ends off the past 2 years trying to get the plant up and running like it needs to. Where you see that concrete tank at, that's the sludge holding tank with the stairs that you see going up. That's part of this project that we're in right now. That was just put in place. This is the sludge from the primary clarifiers. That piece of equipment you see in the center, that's a mixer. It's a floating mixer. As the level goes up with the tank, the mixer rises with it, and all it's doing is mixing the sludge for us. The sludge will be transferred to what we call our RDTs, rotary drum thickeners, as you see right there with the andrets. Sludge will be pumped through those, and then we'll add a chemical called a polymer. That polymer thickens the sludge. Then it's pumped with some other pumps back to our digesters. As I was saying, all that sludge will pass through this RDT, and it's like a big old cone with a screen. What happens is you got this screen right here on the inside of this auger. Water filters through it, and the sludge is turning and mixing with that polymer, thickening up. Then it's dropped into this hopper right here, and then it's pumped with this Moino pump to our digesters. This helps the process of cleaning our water and getting rid of the sludge and having a better sludge when we get it ready to land apply it. Because that's our next place we're going, is our biosolids handling facility, that's where our belt press is, and you'll see what I'm talking about with the sludge. As you can see, the contractors are still working to get it up and running. This is our polymer tank right here, our polymer tote. See, we got a mixer on it, we got a feed line on it. It's fed through these polymer pumps. This is all new, this is part of this upgrade, and like I said, they're still working on it, working out a couple little kinks here and there. Hopefully in the next day or two, they'll actually be doing some training with us on this new equipment. This piece of equipment that you're looking at now is what we call our belt press. Liquid sludge is added at the top of the press, and then you got 2 belts. What they're doing is they're pressing that sludge, basically dewatering, as you see all that water coming off the bottom side, and we retreat that water. But the solids is turned into a cake after it's gone through each of its cycles, and that cake looks something like this on the back side. That's your cake right there. It was all liquidy, and now it's just a cake. It's pumped right here into trailers like this, and we dump about 3 trailers a week. And last year, I want to say we had about a little over 2,000 tons that we sent to 12 different farmers' land to use for fertilizing. It's a good way of being environmentally conscientious and helping the environment by recycling how we do. Right here, as you see, these are our 3 new airs and blowers. This is part of the project that we have going on right now. They're providing all that air that you saw earlier to our aeration basin. Not only do we have these blowers at it, but in our aeration basin, we tripled the size of our diffusers. Let's say we had 500 diffusers in there, now we got 1,500 diffusers in there so we can provide more air. With these blowers, these are more environmental friendly. Number 1, we're saving on power when these things cut on and off and they're running. And as you see right now, it seems loud, but it's not really, because with our old blowers, it was very loud and it costs a lot of money to run those blowers. So the city's going to be saving money by using these blowers.
Well, Charles, this was a great tour. I had no idea this facility was this big and that there was so many steps that it takes to make sure that we have clean water. I want to thank you for everything that you and your city employees do here for our environment in our area. And I want to thank Cable TV of East Alabama today for joining us on this tour. And I want to thank you for joining us on Faces and Places, where you never know whose face you'll see and which place we'll be. See you next time.